Hi, I'm Tom Mealy, and welcome to another edition of the Long Island View. I'm here with my partner, Tommy Moore. Another day,
This is a good one.
I tell you.
This is a good day.
You know, guys, normally when we one of the biggest things we like about doing the Long Island View is that we get an opportunity to interview and get involved with so many different organizations, so many people that really truly make a difference here on Long Island. And the show that we have today is phenomenal. It is exactly what we look to promote here on this island that we live on. You know, Tommy, breast cancer is a major problem here, and I say it all the time that, you know, especially to the tough guys. You know, guys, whether we like to admit it or not, women make us who we are, and this is a problem here on Long Island. And we have organizations like the organization we're going to talk about tonight that takes the extra step, that does whatever it takes to try to bring awareness and cure to this debilitating disease. I mean, you know, your kids, your girls, your daughters, your mothers, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't stop. So we have to fight and fight and fight. And by bringing it to the forefront and allowing us to discuss this and get it out in the open just makes people more aware of what's going on.
Well, you know, this is what I love most about what we get to do here in Madhouse. And I mean, as much as I love the music and all the shows that we do have, this is what I really, really love doing at this point in my life. And it's helping people, whether it be kids, veterans, in any way. And boy, this is
This is kind of like the
top
cream
shelf,
of the crop.
top shelf.
I don't want to waste a lot of time. We're going to do a two-part series here for those watching on Cablevision. In the first one, we're going to be talking to some people that have a major role in putting this foundation together. We're going to be talking to a doctor who's part of the Carol Baldwin Foundation over at Stony Brook Hospital. And we're going to be talking to two young ladies that are well known to many of you out there in the Long Island community that do a show right here on Madhouse TV, Shake It Up with Karen and Regina. They're going to be red carpeting this amazing event. So, you know, I don't want to waste any time. Let's talk.
Do we
Ladies
have
and
another
gentlemen,
guest?
it is, well, we do, but they're coming on later. Keith Hart, yes, but he's part of the foundation. But ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Mr. Keith Hart, Gina and Karen from Shake It Up, and Dr. O'Hay from Stony Brook. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Keith, I want to start off with you.
Okay.
You started this foundation.
Right.
Let's talk about the foundation. What's it about?
Well, it's called the Long Island Hospitality Ball. In the old days, there was a thing called the Bartender's Ball, and it was just like a big drinking fest. And I changed it 5 years ago, and we got a bunch of restaurants, 60 or 70 restaurants, to donate food. And then I got my friends in the liquor business to donate liquor, about 60 or 70 liquor sponsors. Then friends in the entertainment business, friends in the DJ business, we all came together. Nobody gets paid for this, and we put together this big party. And this probably is the premier party of the year. Probably 2,000 people come to it. They get to taste some of the best restaurants' food on Long Island. They get to taste all these new cocktails that mixologists put out there. And they get to party. Now, most charity events you go to, and I'm sure we all go to a lot of charity
Yes,
events.
we do.
You want to leave before the appetizer is done. Because you're just there to spend the money.
So
You can't
true.
wait to go home and
You're
done.
doing your part, but it's not really a party.
This
Yeah.
one, people stay to the end of the night because we know how to throw a party. These are people in the nightclub business, the restaurant business. This is what we do for a living, throw a party. And we're throwing a party for the people in the industry, foodies, and people that just care. Everybody's been touched by cancer. So this is our night to celebrate. It's kind of our night to go out. And all the money goes to a great a cause to, work and hopefully end this dreadful disease that everybody's been everybody's had a problem with. Everybody knows somebody that's been touched by cancer.
Carol Baldwin Research Fund. Tell me about it.
Well, this is our first year with the Carol Baldwin Fund. We went out, reached out to them, or they kind of reached out to us, and the money goes to breast cancer this year, and they have 4 funds within there, I think 4 charities within that they donate money to research for cancer. And we're just happy to do our part and raise the money, give it to them, and it goes to research for cancer. That's what we're looking to do.
I think
I think
Dr.
that-
O'Hay would
Doctor might know more about
would
that.
be the right person to ask that question, right?
Doc, you're
Sure.
on the board of the Carol M. Baldwin Foundation. You're a surgeon over at Stony Brook Hospital. What is your part?
Well, it's, as you stated, I have basically 2 different functions. First of all, I am a breast cancer surgeon, and I lead the program at Stony Brook, which is a very busy sort of clinical program where we care for patients with breast cancer. The second part of what I do is, as you also stated, I'm on the board of the Carol Baldwin Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I'm currently the president of the fund, and that's a separate entity. It has the same name as the clinical arm, which is the Breast Center, but the Research Foundation is a separate not-for-profit organization where we raise money and distribute it to Stony Brook scientists purely for scientific research for breast cancer. This fund was started 20 years ago by Carol. The family has been very supportive over the years, and the charter and the organization is totally committed to raising every dollar that we can and giving it all to breast cancer research. So we support researchers on Long Island. So I think it's great. I really thank Madhouse TV for being here, for the opportunity today, and I thank Keith Hart and everything that you and your people are doing to make us part of it. We're really excited about this new partnership. And
You know,
I
one
think
of
it's a great opportunity for all of us.
One of the
going forward.
unique things about what we like to do is having the ability to stream literally around the world. We try so hard to get the message out to those people who need to hear the message, and hopefully they can donate to this. You know, breast cancer it doesn't just affect women. I mean, men can get breast cancer as well. Am I correct?
That's true. Men can get breast cancer. It's mostly a disease of women for sure. Probably less than 1% of breast cancer patients are men.
But it could
certainly-
happen.
It can happen, and it does happen, and we do see men with breast cancer in the office. So I think it's a 2-part thing. We can talk about the fund and the event, but I think the importance of a show like this is awareness. It's a public awareness. It's people that are listening to what could happen, and they're reevaluating their own lives, making sure they go for a mammogram. A man who has a lump might say maybe this is something serious. So the awareness part of these programs is extremely important. And every couple of years or so, I'll have a patient in the office who had been 10 years without a mammogram. And she'll hear a show like this, or her neighbor will hear a show and force her to get a mammogram. They found a small curable cancer. So that's a very, very powerful benefit of a program like this that reaches so many people. And from a preventative health and a breast cancer point of view, women, if you're 40 years and older, get an annual mammogram. And I'm telling you, somebody's going to hear that today, and it's going to make a difference in their lives.
You know, we have some friends of ours that wound up with breast cancer, and ultimately, surgical issues had to take place. It's important every year of everybody over the age of 40 to have this done.
Yes, it is.
And, you know, there's so many different facilities now on Long Island, including Stony Brook, where it's a simple process of just going in. You know, I don't know what the process is. For those of us who are unaware of it, can you explain what happens? Is there any pain involved with having a mammogram? Tell me what it's all about, what it takes to actually do something like this.
Well, it takes time out of your day, and everybody is extremely busy, so you hear all sorts of reasons why people don't get there. But when they do, it's a fairly easy procedure to have done. There is some pain involved because there is some compression in the machine, so I'm sure most women would tell you it's a little bit uncomfortable, but not enough for it to be avoided. It's generally a well-tolerated, low-risk screening procedure that can find cancers early and find them when they're curable, and mammograms save lives. Mammograms save lives.
Without a doubt.
And Doc, I'm just curious, I mean, being that you are on the other side of the fence on this, how do you see it in your life as far as something such as this filtering down into your field? I mean, money-wise, and I mean, how much, I mean, it's got to be a great impact to what you're doing.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'm not specifically a breast cancer researcher. I sort of work at the bedside and operate.
No,
on
I
that basis.
understand that, but you must see how it filters down.
Let me tell you,
and
let me
the
tell you briefly
capacity of-
about how that works. So we've been around for 20 years, and every year we give about $250,000 to Stony Brook scientists. And they compete for the money. We might get 20 or 30 scientists every year who put together a proposal about what they think they can do with the money. And 4 or 5 are selected only out of a very competitive pool of 15 or 20 or 25 researchers. And each one of those scientists gets $50,000, $25,000 for the first year and $25,000 for the second year. And that's, the money goes directly to them, they hire the people they have to, and they start doing their research. Now, someone might say, what can you accomplish with medical research for $25,000 a year, right? These are called seed grants. They're really mini grants. They're aimed to sort of prove or disprove one particular small idea. And the understanding is that if their idea is proven, that will lead to larger monies coming in from the Department of Defense, from the NIH, from the NCI, who will see the results of this small $25,000 project and pump, say that one's now really worthy, we're going to give you $2 million. So we look at our return on investment. And in 20 years, the fund has contributed, because of generous people like the people sitting here today, we've been able to donate about $4.5 million to scientific researchers. But the results of that research have come back to those scientists in the university at large to the tune of about $38 million from outside
impressive. That's
funding
incredible.
that has come back to the university because of the results of these small seed grants. So these grants are meant to prove an idea and get larger funding. And the larger funding is what ultimately will make a difference when something new is really discovered. So that's how we work it, and that's the mechanics.
That's great.
That's the mechanics
Keith,
of how we do
Because
things.
it's nice to hear how
Exactly.
you actually see it work.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Keith, getting back to you for a second now with this foundation. If people wanted to donate right now to this foundation or to this event that's taking place, how do they do that?
Well, we have different levels of sponsorship that you can get involved in, or you could just buy tickets to the event online. You can go to our Facebook page, Long Island Hospitality Ball Facebook page, and you can buy tickets online. Or you could buy tickets at most of the restaurants that are involved in this 60 or 70 restaurants that are all selling tickets at their restaurants.
So this is going to be a party night, and the money is actually going to this amazing cause. And like the doctor said, that small little $20,000, that $25,000 could actually be the money
Right.
that plants the seed that gets the cure.
I
So,
believe if everybody, I'm doing my little part. I hoped when I started this that, hey, I'm going to try to throw a little party and try to raise some money. And the first year was $170,000, then it was $250,000, then it was $360,000, then it was $380,000. So I think if more people like myself do these things and everybody keeps on trying and they raise more and more money, one day maybe we're going to find something. So, but we got to keep on trying.
We gotta keep
It's just
trying.
our
And
time.
also, Keith,
you know.
while we're on this, being that we are right now worldwide, as opposed to just going to the ball, is there a number for people that might be watching all over the world that they could send money in? Because, I mean, we are literally.
Yeah, anybody can send money in, or.
I mean, is there a site
There's
set
a
up for
site.
it?
You go to the Long Island Hospitality Ball,
On-
a website or Facebook page.
So
and you
anyone
can-
outside of the
anybody.
country even
Right,
can-
right.
great.
Anybody can.
Great.
People
That's
do that too. People just all
We're
over the
get-
place.
we're
Hey,
getting
listen,
to 'em right
I
now.
believe in your cause. I just want to send money. I just want to send it
Right,
because
it's
yeah.
worldwide. I
Right,
mean, it's
right,
not a local
right.
thing.
We did that for the veterans, and we had a great response. And then we have the other part of the ball, which everybody enjoys, and that's the red carpet.
Right.
So there will be a red carpet, and we are blessed to have these two young ladies going to be on the red carpet
Young ladies, I
interviewing
like that.
some spectacular guests that we hope to be there or that we will have there.
Right.
Can you tell us some of the guests that are going to be
Well, the
at the
guest
ball?
host is the Baldwin, so Alec Baldwin and his brothers are going to be there. There's a guy named Richie Salgado. He's named Big Daddy, and he's told me that he was going to bring some of his celebrity friends.
He's a great guy.
He's a really good guy. And there's some old Jets that show up, and I don't know about the Islanders if they're playing right now, and some reality stars show up, as well as we have. You never know who's going to come down. Every year it changes a little bit, but one thing is people like to get dressed up for this, and they dress
This
to
is
the
a ball,
nines. Yeah,
and
right.
it's $125 a
Right,
ticket,
right, which
I
is
mean,
a
for
very
120,
reasonable-
That's ridiculous.
it's a very
If
reasonable
you think
price,
about it
right.
logically, if you go to Tellus, it's going to cost you, $300 or $400 just to go to Tellus.
Go to a ball game.
Go to a ball like this, a hospitality, red carpet, celebrities, entertainers, foods from how many different restaurants?
And, probably 70 or 80 restaurants.
I mean,
yeah.
where else can you
tasting
go?
great food
and
and
meet all of
drinks.
these people.
Right.
It's a wonderful thing. And we have these two lovely ladies here that are going to be introducing them as they come through the door. Tell us what your role in this is.
So Jeanette from the Carol M. Bolton Breast Cancer Research Fund is a very good friend of ours, and she asked us if we wouldn't mind hosting the red carpet and talking to people about what made them choose what it is they're wearing, and where they got their hair done and their makeup done, and we were thrilled and honored to be able to do that for her. So
Anything for Jeanette. We've worked with her on other events, and she's a tremendous person. She
Yeah.
has the most giving heart, and any chance that we can be involved with her is an opportunity for us that we
This is
can't
like a
pass up.
Hollywood type. This is all those people out there that wanted to go to
The
one of the
Emmys.
Oscars
Yeah.
or the Emmys, and this is going to be happening right now at
Exactly.
Crest Hollow Country Club June 1st.
Yep.
That's right. It's June 1st, and Regina and I were actually guests last year at this event and can attest to its grandness.
Oh, my
We
goodness.
were floored, and we go to a lot of events. I mean, you guys follow us. We're everywhere. 5 nights out of the week, we're at a
Though I
different
don't want to
event.
rattle off the schedule. Yeah, it's bad.
And this one really is, especially this year, so important to us because it does benefit a charity that's been dear to our hearts for the last 7 or 8 years of our lives.
Right.
So, like I said, we've raised money with Jeanette for Jeanette's charity and the Baldwin charity for probably
Decades.
yeah.
We've been doing it for
A
over
very long
10
time.
years, right? Yeah.
And we've done it on a very small scale, maybe some hair extensions here or there, maybe we're spinning the wheel and raising money that way. But this year, I think through Madhouse TV, and thank you, Madhouse TV, for being a part of this, because we reach now worldwide audiences.
Oh, yeah.
So we're so excited about that. And we have a link right on our website page, on your website page, as well as the findacure.org website, where you can donate directly to Carol
Yeah.
Baldwin. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to be streaming it live from the red carpet with you guys there, so that's going to be exciting.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of
So
fun.
let me ask you this question: Does this mean that my wife has to go out and buy a gown now?
Absolutely.
Is that,
Yes,
is
yes,
that the
that's
deal?
right.
And it also
and
means
she has
that
to
you're
get her
going to
hair
pay for it,
done,
Tommy.
and she's got to get her makeup done, and I want to
Is
see
that
some
right?
You're going to
really
pay
hot
for it,
shoes.
too. You're going to pay for it.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. well,
Jewelry,
it's gonna be a
accessorized.
pleasure
But
to-
it's
to be
it's
there.
just it's a great thing to be a part of, because as you were speaking, is we know that what we can raise awareness about and whatever monies that we can gather is directly going. That's why it's one of one of my favorite charities to be
Yeah.
involved with, because it directly goes to where it's needed, and that's in the research and in the center, and right here on Long Island. So like you said, we go to so many events, and you don't know where any of that money. I mean,
No.
you really
Yeah.
don't have a way of tracking what happens. And this is such a great, great, great charity. So I really encourage everybody, if you can't make it to the ball, which I would start saving now and
It's
get
gonna
your
sell
ticket.
out. It sells out every
Because
year.
it's an amazing
So-
party. It's a party you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
Or if you can't, if that's not in your financial bracket, then just make a donation. $20, $25.
Every dollar counts.
It really counts.
Keith, I want to get back to you again for a minute. Did you started this how many years ago?
5 years.
5 years. Is it just because you wanted to have a party?
No, I had thyroid cancer. When I was throwing the first event, my father had lung cancer. My partner's father died of lung cancer. And then you just hear everybody. And I said, let me try to do something. So that's why I started it.
So you just out of the blue, with these issues going on, you said, I'm going to
My
start
life
this.
is good. I wanted to give back and maybe something I could make a little bit of a difference. And
Well, I want to
that's
say
what
one
happened.
thing.
Well, I got to tell you.
He's got the right last name.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You gotta have one.
That's right.
And he knows how to throw a party.
Yeah.
It's a
I
great
gotta
party.
tell you,
I'd
that's-
rather see this here
Yeah.
than here.
Very commendable, because there's so many people out there that really, really need your help, and to be part of this, we're honored and blessed to be part of it. and to help out in any way we can, but it all started with you?
And I have a great executive committee, I have a great committee, and most people, if I ask them, if I say, hey, listen, you want to try to help? Most people say yes. And if you ask them for a donation of something, a gift certificate for their restaurant, something to participate and help, everybody has been touched by cancer in one way or the other, and they want to help, you know, so. Last year, we sold out. So everybody should get the tickets in advance. 2 years ago, we sold too many tickets, and it was a little too crowded in the place. So we said, listen, we got to,
Yeah,
you know,
limit it.
limit this down, scale back a little bit. So if you're interested in coming, you should buy your
Well, it's
tickets
a
in
two-part
advance.
series
Right.
here. You have A, you know, you're spending $125. Listen, folks, that's not a lot of money today. That's pennies.
Not for the
All right?
value.
Not for the, and what you're spending that money on is you're helping people who truly need it, and you're getting to go to a AAA ball right here in your hometown on Long Island. Doctor, I want to ask you a question regarding breast cancer on Long Island. You've been with Stony Brook Hospital now, I'm sure, quite a long time. There's this, there's talk about Long Island being a hub for breast cancer, more so than any other part of the country. Is this true?
It's a great question because you do hear a lot about it. And I think that it's fair to say that even one case of breast cancer is too many. But if you look at rates of breast cancer, even for different counties in New York State, Suffolk County is a little bit higher and Nassau is a little bit higher, but there also are some counties upstate New York that are even higher than ours. And remember, it's a very hard number to track because the way it is now, if you lived your whole life in Westchester County and then retired and moved to the Hamptons, and you were there for 2 years and got breast cancer, you're counted as a West Hampton or a Hampton breast cancer.
But what I'm
patient.
talking
So
about
it's hard
Long
to
Island in general, though.
No, Long Island in general is maybe, I think it's fair to say, 10% over the national average. I think that would be the way to say
10%
it.
over the national.
Not
average.
tenfold.
Right. No, I get it.
So the average rate of breast cancer in a population is about 130 women per 100,000 get breast cancer every year. So we would be at 143 per 100,000. That's 10% increase. So it is a little higher, and it shouldn't be that way, and we hope that we can turn the tides on that, but I think it's not tenfold higher. And I think if you listen to what a lot of the communications are, you would expect the number would be much
would
higher
expect,
than that.
right.
It's 10%, not tenfold.
And another question too, I mean, there is talk of the wires on Long Island. Is there any truth to that?
They've
I mean,
looked
I've heard
there's
of
been
you
so
know.
much work done about EMF. I think you're talking about
Right,
EMF
right.
fields and whether that can cause breast cancer. And, you know, if you really think it does, then you can find a study that says it does. And if you really think it doesn't,
Right.
you can find a study that says it doesn't. Because again, it's hard to know because you have to track where a person lived for 8 years and how close they were to the wires. And then they moved somewhere else for 20 years and then when the wires were built. So the science is flawed. It's a very hard scientific project to
Sure.
wrap your hands around, you know?
Right.
So it's unclear. I think that the same basic things, genetics play an extremely important role in this. We're finding out more and more. And that's something you really can't control. And we're finding much more about genetics and genetic predispositions to cancer. And basically, it comes down to a lot of other things, a healthy
Population,
lifestyle,
too.
weight control, healthy lifestyle, exercise, reducing animal meats. That's probably the best thing
So important.
people can do.
It's so important.
And how much the environmental factors probably play a
You
little
said-
bit of a
you
role,
said
but it's hard to know.
Reduce animal meats?
Fat,
Fats.
animal fats.
And
is-
that has, let me ask you, is, you know, being a surgeon, how long, were you been a surgeon over Stony Brook?
I'm at Stony Brook for 20 years.
20 years. Over the 20-year period, have you seen an increase or a decrease in people having breast cancer here on Long Island?
So it's been steady. The rate
It's been steady.
The steady.
So in a 20-year period, if I was to go back right now to, let's say, 1990,
Yes,
all right, 95,
yes.
and it's been a steady all the way up. So with all the technology that we have, all the advances in technology, we haven't been able to make it drop down somewhat.
Well, technology can change the rate of breast cancer.
No, but
coming.
technology can tell us, though, that
Right.
if they go for their mammograms and they're doing, as you said that they should do, early detection is the key.
So I think there's two things that can be confused in a situation like, one, if you plot the graph of breast cancer cases on Long Island, it's been like this for 20 years. If you then plot the survivors, well, actually what we
Right.
do is we
That's
actually
where
plot the
survival rate is
mortality
higher.
rate.
Yeah.
The mortality rate goes like this.
Right.
Okay.
So those are
That's
two-
what I'm-
That's
yeah,
the
that's
difference.
what I'm looking for.
Right.
Rate is
So the
level,
mortality
mortality
rate
is clearly
is
decreasing.
decreasing
Clearly
over the
decreasing.
years. That's
And
the answer I was
because of
looking at.
Advances and research leads to
Early detection,
breakthroughs,
yeah.
and breakthroughs save lives.
And
it's that
this
simple.
cannot happen with somebody like Mr. Hart, who has these organizations.
Couldn't happen
and-
without
and these
research.
foundations. I
Couldn't
mean,
happen.
we need him.
Couldn't happen without
We need him.
generosity and philanthropic mindset of people like Mr. Hart and his organization. It's a fantastic partnership, I think. We have successful Long Island entrepreneurial men and women who are donating to a purely Long Island a cancer foundation who are supporting Long Island scientists. It's a perfect,
We got about 2 minutes
it's a perfect
left. I don't even think we
alignment
have
of-
that
of-
much
We
time.
we got about, we
Yeah,
got
we
about a
agree.
minute left, I think. Doc, if you can just tell us one thing that you want to say to the audience regarding early detection, what would you, look into that camera, tell us exactly what you would tell these people out there regarding early detection?
So the most important thing about early detection is to get a mammogram yearly starting at age 40. Don't be afraid. Most breast cancers, if they're found early. They're found in a curable sense. We are doing so much better in terms of the cosmetic results of the surgery that we can do for women. So even if you find it, it's more likely to be curable at an earlier stage. Get your mammograms and don't be afraid because we can fix it for you in most cases.
Thank you so much. That's part one of this edition of the Long Island View. Stay tuned for part two. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Tom Mealy. You got me crazy here. I'm Tom Mealy. Welcome to another edition of Long Island View. This is part 2 of the series we're doing on the Long Island Hospitality Ball, benefiting the Carol M. Baldwin Foundation for breast cancer. And the previous show, we spoke a little about the clinical end of it. This show, we're going to talk about the party end of it and how we're going to be partying when we get over to the country club. But our guests tonight are Mr. Keith Hart, Regina, and Karen from the Shake It Up show here at Madhouse TV. And a special guest joining us today on the couch is Rich. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Great.
Great.
Getting ready for the party.
The minute you sat down on that couch,
Yes.
those two started going crazy.
Well,
What
we're
is it?
big
What is it?
fans.
What is it?
of
Party
Richie.
man.
We're big fans.
They've been coming to my party since they're very young.
That's right, Richie. And we're still young.
And they're still young.
There's 2 things I want to talk about, and then I'm going to let you guys have the couch. The first thing I want to talk about is
Watch what you say.
Carol Baldwin. Amazing, amazing, amazing woman. Been doing this for 20-something years. Tell us about Carol.
I actually don't know that much about Carol, quite
Okay.
honestly. I know that she's been putting on these events for a long, long time, and I know that it's for a good cause. And we were working with another organization, and we heard that the money goes all to research. And some of these other organizations, by the time it trickles down, only 10% goes to where it has to go. You have administration costs and everything else to run these foundations, that not too much money goes to it. So we knew when we were dealing with Carol and Baldwin Foundation that almost every penny goes to research. And that's what interested us, because it's the Long Island Hospitality Ball to benefit who we want to benefit. And we said, what better partner than get involved with somebody on Long Island, a Long Island charity, where all the money goes to research in Long Island. So,
You know,
and we knew it was a great cause.
the Baldwins have always been there. They were homegrown right here in, I believe they grew up in Massapequa.
Massapequa, yes.
You know,
I lived right in the opposite part of the golf
and
course.
it's funny, every time you hear about the Baldwins, I know that my neighbor across the street used to babysit them.
There's always a story about the
There's
Baldwins.
always this.
Everybody
But
has
you know what
one.
I found really remarkable about them, whether it's Alec or Billy or any of the brothers, and now Carol, is that they're a family of giving people, and they give without any hesitation. 100% of this goes to this foundation to help find. Oh, there's my phone. I'm always saying, shut the phone off, right?
Thank
But
you.
100%. All right, I'm
swearing.
going to hear 100%. 100%
Right.
goes to research to find a cure for breast
Yeah,
cancer.
that's rare with these
That's
charities.
yeah, and and there's so many celebrities out there. I mean, every time you turn around, there's celebrities doing this. Listen, folks, this is home. These are Long Island people. Breast cancer is here on Long Island. All right, this is all about us. This isn't about what's happening in Hollywood or Chicago. This is Long Island. So get involved with this hospitality ball. Donate some money to $5, $10, $25. It's going to hurt. I guarantee you that one of you people out there knows somebody who has had breast cancer, who has died from breast cancer. So make it a point. This is our town. This is our island, right? Forget about anywhere else. This is us. Get involved. Get part of this. Help this foundation get off the ground and off the ground. Get it to the money to where it needs to go. And thanks to Keith Hart for putting this incredible thing together today.
Well, and another thing is, it's like Keith was saying in the first segment, that it starts with a seed, and this is the seed.
These are
And
seed
this
money.
seed is going to grow out, not through just Long Island, it's going to go out throughout the entire world. Like right now, we're being seen around the world. There could be people in China right now going, hey, let me send some money, because it affects the
Or
world.
start your own.
Yeah.
You know,
Or start
do
your own.
what I
Maybe this
do.
would
Let it
inspire
all
somebody
do the
to
same
start their
thing.
own, yeah.
You know, I always say every wave starts with a ripple.
Right,
Be the ripple.
right.
You know?
Well, you know what, I want folks that are watching here on Long Island, and I don't know why this is constantly going off, but I want folks on Long Island to be part of this ball. I want them to get on the website, get a ticket, come on down, meet Regina and Karen. Let me tell you, firsthand, you're in for a treat. All right, come on and meet him. And be part of this and help get this thing where we need it to have it to be.
And if you can't make it there,
Give a
go
donation.
on
Right.
Keith's site or the Baldwin site and donate some money, because listen, like Tom said, you know what I mean, everybody knows somebody that's gone through this,
Right.
everybody.
Let's talk about the party. That's what they're
Yay.
waiting for.
That's what I wanted to
They're itching.
bring.
I want to introduce Richie. Richie.
What's going on?
You, from what I understand, you make this whole thing happen here with
Well, I'm
the
part-
excitement.
I'm one of the wheels that drives the truck.
Oh.
Before you start telling us about all the wheels and driving the truck, I want you to tell us about Keith Hart.
Well, I'll tell you the best. When I was younger, I was doing hair and makeup, and I used to go to all his parties, and he threw great parties. And I was like always wanted to be a judge in the contest and do stuff with him, and I was like, and he let me be a judge in a contest, which we had a lot of fun.
Bathing suit contest was tough.
I got to pick the bikini winner.
Tough, okay.
but it was great. But he also let me, I was just an up and coming hairdresser, and he let me do my first fashion show on Long Island. And we put it together. It took like 3 months, 4 months, and we worked every day. And I'll never forget, I said to him, I hope it's successful. And he goes, it's already a success. Just knowing that, I knew I was going to have a lifelong friendship with him, which I have. And you can't say enough about the guy. He's compassionate, he's strong, and what he does the greatest, the best, is he can put millions of people together, because he's, like myself, he started a lot of people in the industry. So he makes one phone call, and all the DJs came. He makes one phone call, all the restaurants came. Or one phone call, all the liquor companies came. It was kind of like he was able to create a whole army around him with his leadership. And it's amazing what he has done. And yeah, I got to tell you, it's an event that he always has one saying. And, you know, in any industry, including, you know, yours, leave your egos at the door. And how he has accomplished that is unbelievable. Everybody wants to be part of it, you know. And it's you know, it's a tip my hat to the success of it.
You're dealing with a lot of restaurateurs that are competitive, with egos, big egos. You're dealing
Drama.
with DJs and
Yes.
bands.
Musicians.
Everybody doesn't, you know, they're competing against each other. And I think this is bigger than all of us. This is for,
But this is not a competition.
no, not at all.
This
but-
is, this
but
is everybody
they-
coming together.
This is people coming together, and this is something that we strive, that this is not a competition. We're here for a good cause. And everybody, I would say 98% of the people
Yeah.
feel that way.
I also want to say, you feel that when you are walking through the party.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have restaurants, I mean, it's tight, because they have so many, they offer so many different places, you know, but they're right next to each other, and they're having a great time, they're high-fiving
There's
each
a
other.
lot of
So there's a
camaraderie.
lot of camaraderie, you feel
sure.
that when you're walking around the event, that's why it's such a success,
And
I
if you're
think.
not doing it for the right reason,
Correct,
don't
then
do it.
well,
Stay
you know,
home.
obviously.
What I feel it is, it's Las Vegas with a room full of love. Like the room is full of
Richie.
love, and it's a party. I mean, we stay later, even if it closes at 12. Everybody's hanging out till 1 o'clock. We go to an after party usually at at one of the restaurants, and it's unbelievable. And you said to go to Tellers it would be like $100. Well, Tellers is there.
Right.
And they give you complimentary food, and they give you the stuff. There's,
The best
the best restaurants.
What are
on
some of
Long
the
El
Island.
Molino.
restaurants? I'd
Yeah.
like to know.
Lamani, Jeanette got us there. All the Bolson places. That's
Yeah.
Paces, Piccolo in Huntington. You're talking some of the best. Sorellas, Nissen, all different types of cuisine are in there too. So you got a little bit of everything. We have
When could you just do
Italian.
that for $125?
No, that's what I'm
And they-
saying, and they
see,
give you
the-
really great things.
Right.
And
Great
these
point.
guys, they're in front of their peers.
Yes,
Yeah.
they want to show
They
off.
can't just throw out a couple short ribs.
Right.
They have to put out good food because they're going to be judged with their peers there. So
Correct.
you're getting
That's a win-win.
You're getting some great food there. And same thing with the liquor companies. And they probably raise us the most money. You have two big distributors. You have an Empire distributor and Southern distributor, and we usually honor one of those two people every
Last
year.
year was Southern.
And last year was Southern,
Southern, right.
and this year is Isaac Martin from Empire, and they step up to the plate big time. I'm saying like $100,000 big time. These
Wow.
people here, so they really step up to the plate. And we have Frank Russo. Russo's on the bag. I mean, he's a monster catering hall, has tons of restaurants, and he's another person that we're honoring this. And we're also honoring somebody that helped us with this cause. He was a very big part of this cause, a guy named J.P. Frasina, and he just died. Right after the 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with cancer, a very rare kind, and he's died. So we're honoring him too, in memory of him. So, we got a lot of people
Yeah.
that will all work together and want to throw a great, great party.
And that's really what it
Right,
is. I mean, you know, first off, yeah, the food is amazing, and the place is beautiful. The Crest Holler really does, organize it incredibly
They do a
around the
great
pool,
job.
and it's just spectacular. But the entertainment, you bring in so many great
Crazy.
entertainers.
Oh my
Roll
God!
on.
Remember the girls and the
and the neon.
acrobat? I mean, it was
Right,
incredible.
acrobats.
Incredible.
It's so
Yeah.
much fun. I mean,
Let's talk about the entertainment, because that's a your end, correct?
Well, I do the raffle prizes, but we help with the entertainment.
and
as well.
that's
where we-
insane too. The
The
raffle
raffle prizes
prizes.
is
We
crazy.
won a lot.
Tell us
for
about
that.
the entertainment, and we'll get into the raffles. The entertainment, who's
It's
going to be
incredible.
there?
You have DJ Theo, who's probably one of the top DJs in the country, man, plays all over the world. You have Mystic, which is a top band. You have DJ is Jason Ojeda. gonna
Jason
be there this year?
Ojeda,
He's
this
amazing
guy,
DJ.
great, who is a Juilliard performer. He's there. And then outside, we have a reggae band on one side. We have like an old Italian singer guy
Oh,
that
yeah.
comes in there. We have-
Johnny
we have,
Avino, amazing, like Frank Sinatra.
jazz, all over. Wherever you go, there's music, there's food, there's drinking.
Beautiful
It- it-
girls.
yeah.
You have
Yeah.
those
We
gorgeous
have
girls.
probably
all
100
around.
women.
It's
Cirque du
incredible.
Soleil.
Our raffle girls
It is.
are gorgeous.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
supermodels and makeup artists and hairdressers that donate their time to the event. That forget it. Even our raffle committee, which Jeanette came to it, we have big dinners that we go to and have a lot of fun.
Tell us about the raffles, as far as
The
what we're
raffles
raffling
is,
off.
like when I first did it, everybody was like, "Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to do it," but it was such a great because I wasn't on the committee the first year, and they asked me to be on it, and we have so many great prizes. We have prizes where memorabilia from sports. We have a dinner package where you get 50 restaurants that you go to a different restaurant every week for the whole year, which is all the restaurants.
That's
that are
good for you,
included.
Karen.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great for Karen.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah, then
raffle.
there's also after that there's a gym membership that we also have.
Oh yeah, let me get
So-
on that one.
So we get that, and then
That's
Trip to
Nice.
St. Martin.
Oh,
Sister trip to St. John.
That's me.
One year we had
Rolls
we're trying to
Royce.
get a citation, not a citation, a Challenger jet to bring you there
Wow.
to a spot.
we even have
Isn't
one.
it
We
our
even have
place
one
in St.
promoter
I
that
don't-
can't
I
get
don't
a
think she
date.
said it yet, but-
So we actually auction him off, and you get a shopping spree, but you have to go with him. And it's very, very
Wow,
fun.
that's going to be
They're
interesting.
very creative and a lot of fun, the
Maserati
raffle.
Ferrari does gives us a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
then
now
there's
you're
a-
talking my language.
all
Go ahead, keep
salon,
going.
all salon and spa packages. John McGarris, Anthony DeFranco, Bangs, never get to name a few. Cactus. So Cactus is very big with us. They have like 15 salons, and they donate from all their places. It's amazing. It's just everybody calls in. More and more people every year want to join forces with Keith and his team.
It's nice when it all comes
Oh,
together.
it's unbelievable, and the work that these guys put behind it. It's almost like like Thanksgiving, the Macy's Day Parade of Thanksgiving. They start the next month after the parade.
Right.
He calls us all up. Okay, let's get going, and we start again.
It's got to be a lot of work.
It takes 11 months, 10 months to the work that they put in.
It's a lot of work and preparation,
Yeah.
but at the end, it's well worth it.
Sure.
And our names are on it, so we
You're
gotta make
saving
sure.
lives.
Yeah.
What better price?
It makes you feel good. Anybody that wants to feel good, once you do something like this and you see the success of it, and it's a
Yeah.
fun thing, it's worth it.
For
Well,
all
they-
the crazy and fun stuff and nutty stuff we've done, it's a way of giving back. And
That's,
and
I
we
got to
have
tell
that-
you, I keep getting in my head $125, and I'm saying to myself, this is
Yes.
Because I want
It's
the
so
I want the
ridiculous.
regular guy, the bartender, the waitress. They don't have a lot of money. They work hard for their money. I want the industry people because first of all, it's their New Year's party to me. All right, and money's going back to charity. But if you start charging a lot of money, you're going to get the,
Right.
the stuffy people that are going to eat and go home early. I want to continue to make it a party where it's affordable for everybody. And if
That's
it's
great.
affordable, feed the masses, live with the few. Feed the few, live with the masses.
Right.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Love that.
And so same thing with this. You want to do bodies. Bodies bring more bodies. Keep it up. The volume. Everybody
Yeah.
having a good time. You don't want all older people going to go home early because they're going to pick on the food. They're going to have a few drinks and they got to go home. The younger people are going to stay there all night and party and have a good time. So it's a good mix.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what's so beautiful
wanted to
about
ask
it is
you
that
about
it
that.
Yeah.
includes everybody. It's not exclusive, it's inclusive. So you want everybody to come.
And you
So-
feel comfortable every age.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's that's why it's
Let's
such
talk
the
about the
magic
dress
of the
up
night.
part of this.
Oh,
this
we're very
event.
busy. We're very
Okay,
busy.
yes.
We're
All
very
right,
busy.
on
So, you
YouTube.
know
What
what
do you
I
wanna
think
know? What do
what's
you wanna
really
know?
cool
I
is that
wanna
you guys are
know-
gonna
We
stream
want
it,
to know
right?
what.
I want to know.
What we're wearing, we can't tell you that.
I can't. How am I going to ask that question?
Well-
I
I
don't
asked
know.
that question.
Who knows?
But this is dress up time. This
Ah,
is
dude,
what
this
every
is what we live
every
for. Are you
woman
kidding
lives
me?
for, right?
And
Oh,
it's, you know what? It's not about just the girls. You have to see some of the guys
That's
there. I mean,
right.
they come full like gorgeous.
Oh my
Drop dead
gosh!
gorgeous,
Yes,
beautiful
yes.
shirt.
Everybody's in great shape. Everybody's getting ready. So let's go, people.
They're
June
very
1st.
pretty people in this building.
You got
And
the
let me
date.
say-
What would you say if people are listening right now? What would you tell them would be appropriate attire for this?
Well, definitely, I would say sexy dressy.
I say couture.
Sexy dressy.
So you can use
couture.
your imagination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocktail dresses and gowns for women, and we like suits for men.
Suits
with
and
ties.
tuxes, or no tuxes?
Not tuxes. I think tuxes are
Stuffy.
80s type of, we went away from that. Okay?
Right.
You know, but it's, if you like to wear a tux, fine. But most people have a suit on with a tie. And that's the way.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, you're taking your tie off and it's wrapped around your head. But at the beginning of the night, you know.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you,
It is a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, the demand for tickets this year is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everybody's been calling, all the salons that are involved, everybody's been calling, all the restaurant bar people, they're calling us now. We used to have to call them. We used to have to go to them. Remember the first
Yeah.
year, we brought posters everywhere.
We're still doing that.
And we still do it all, but it was a lot, it was so much, he made us go everywhere. He'd call us up, he'd meet us.
And can I say one thing? This Monday at Crest Hollow at 6:30, we're having our meeting. So if people are out there that want to get involved in this and come down and help in any way, we can still use the help. So if people want to get involved, they say, hey, I really want to try to help make a difference, whatever it is, you can get on a committee and help. But the biggest way is promoting now, telling people on Facebook, sharing.
Sure.
The Long Island Hospitality Ball page, sharing Instagram, and telling your friends. There's no better way to promote than word of mouth. Like that Revlon commercial. I tell one person, they tell one person.
Yes.
You know, and
That's
that's
the
the
beauty
thing
of it.
now.
Yep.
It's organic. Word of mouth, and that's how we do it.
Right.
We don't spend any money on advertising on this.
You
We
don't
make
have to anymore.
posters.
No,
I sent this show out to 1 million people today.
Right.
And I gotta tell you something, it's a different feel this year. With these two, forget it. I know they know 1 million people. I just mentioned that this year, and I did Carol Baldwin's first event when she did Chelsea Street, and to talk about her, she's a great person with so much love and devotion to this. And it's funny how full circle goes that we're working with them again. And these two girls are monsters in the industry. They know everybody. They're going to bring probably 1,000 people by themselves.
Well,
Well,
we're
that's
actually
it. It's
yeah.
going to get sold out. I mean, no doubt this event is going to get sold
So
out.
get online now and get your
Get
ticket.
online.
Is what you're
Definitely
saying.
get online and get your ticket, but also
You don't want to miss it. I mean,
when
you don't-
it is sold out, because it is going to get sold out. When it is sold out, they'll still be able to see the show, correct? Because we're going to stream live,
Yes,
right?
let me just clarify what's happening with streaming. Now, I know that, Keith, I was speaking to you off camera as far as some of the issues. This is set up in different rooms, correct? We're going to be streaming. We're going to try to. The biggest thing is the red carpet. We want to stream people coming in. The
a lot of
girls are going to
action
be
there,
interviewing them coming in. You know, we're going to be taping and filming and editing for a future show as well. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of things going on. I think that the streaming, we're going to be streaming live, obviously, in very high definition, which we do. We bring in a full team of people from the studio. You know, it takes a team to pull this off. It's not something where you take a cell phone and you stream it. All right, we don't want any of that. All right, we don't want to. You know, we want it to be look like television. But we're going to be streaming the red carpet from what I understand. The guests are going to be coming in. Alex is going to be giving interviews. You're going to be giving interviews. We're going to be then taping some of the different events that are going on in the different rooms and then eventually moving the stream to the ballroom for the end of the night for the party of the parties. And we'll be streaming that as well. And then we'll be
we have to
editing.
follow- gotta
We'll
follow
be
him
we'll
around.
be editing things through the help
He'll
of
be right by us.
Jerry
trust me.
Parisi, who will be editing a lot of the footage, and then we'll put it together and we'll do a full 1 hour show after
It's,
that as
and
well.
it's all outside, which
Yeah.
is incredible. I mean,
Well, we've
it's
been there many
beautiful.
times.
Yeah.
We were there with you girls when we did the pool.
Right.
That time. So
No, that's a different, isn't that
Was
a
that-
different place?
was that-
No, we
Crest
were at, yeah, a different place, but similar setup, like where
We
we're
did
gonna
Crest Hollow. We
be,
did Crest Hollow.
we did. I know we've
Yeah.
done a few of them.
I think that was their backyard.
Yeah,
They-
that's
I don't
Karen's
think they were
backyard.
there, though.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Okay.
Well,
No,
you know,
we
I
were
think
there.
what's great, Tom, and again, you know, we appreciate it so much, is the fact that you really do have the ability to do this, which is phenomenal. I mean, not many companies out there do, so it's
Well,
really.
that's,
nice to be able to
what
have
we were
that.
able to do is, when we first got asked to do, to stream live, of course, before my brains got to my lips, I said, sure. And he's getting very nervous, and I think we did it with that concert over at Eisenhower Park. What was her name? Gloria Gaynor was the first time.
That was for
we-
Sandy.
Right, that we streamed live. And since then, the equipment, we take this entire studio, we put it in a box, and we film. And the quality is the same. There's no, we don't deviate in quality. And we get it out to a lot of
I
people
mean, it's
that enjoy
incredible
watching
what
it.
you're able to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is incredible, and how it can reach everyone around the world. So, like, people that are in another country or friends that we have that live in St. Martin, okay?
Yeah, we have a lot of
They're going to
friends
be
there.
watching the show. They actually want to contribute to the show, I believe.
Well, they
and-
can, and they can
Right,
bring it in.
and they can feel like they're part of the event, too.
We did something, Keith, not too long ago over at the Copacabana in New York. And it was funny, when we were streaming, we were doing it live, and a woman came up and said, my sister or my aunt was
Russia.
watching in Russia. And we were blown away.
And we
Yeah.
put them
So,
on live.
We put them on live. They're on their cell
Oh,
phone
it's
listening.
adorable.
It
And
was
this
great.
is from
It
Russia.
was great.
That's beautiful.
When we streamed the event over in Northport for the veterans,
veteran, yeah.
we had our soldiers in Iraq
Yeah.
watching on their iPads and computers,
That's beautiful.
and it was. They said it was like watching television.
That's
so
the power of social media. It's
that's
incredible.
what we want to bring to this foundation and
Maybe
and
with
do
you
for-
guys, we'll be able to do City Field next year.
Well, you know what?
We
Hey,
can do
listen,
anything.
Love it.
Oh,
We're
Trust
there.
me.
Don't ask.
We do the biggest blues fest in the world.
But anyway, getting back
Yeah.
to Carol
Canada.
Baldwin, I just want to, because we've got a few minutes left. I got to tell you, it's a blessing that Carol has done this for so many years. It's a blessing, Keith, that you, out of just the kindness of your own heart, great last name, have put this together, because not only are you helping the women around the world with breast cancer, and here on Long Island, is you're bringing so many different entities together. And these entities are now becoming friends. And I think the important part of this whole thing is that we are taking Long Island and we're making Long Island almost like a family. And this family gets together once a year, thanks to you. And we have this huge party, thanks to you and you girls for being there. And we become the family that I think Long
Right.
Island really needs to become.
and embrace each
together.
other's success and help each other.
Yeah.
Like he's saying, check your ego at the door. There's no ego
Absolutely.
here. I
Absolutely.
mean, we're all
That's
here
saying.
we're all here for the bigger cause, not for ourselves. I mean,
that's-
we're doing this as fun because we love fashion, but if by us being there can reach the people that we want to have the event and make it fun and maybe bring a little bit more to it, it's our pleasure to do it. It's our pleasure
That's
to do
one
it.
thing I do, being in the music business too. And I have seen how Long Island does come together.
does.
When they have to come together, they do come
Right.
together. They're very strong. They're very, very
We've got
strong.
about a minute left. Rich, real quick, if you have one thing to say to the folks out there about this event, what are you going to tell them?
Make sure you sleep the night before. Work out. June 1st is going to be one of the best times of your life. He has a saying, it's going to be the most fun you have with your clothes on.
Yes.
Girls, 30 seconds, and I'm going to have to keep it 15 seconds, real quick.
Make sure you're red carpet ready. That's all I gotta say. Get
Absolutely.
yourself red
Keith,
carpet
what do you got
ready.
to say?
Ain't no party like a Long Island Hospitality Ball party because Long Island Hospitality Ball party don't stop.
Okay,
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. We still got a few minutes. I do want to just say one thing that what you brought up before, which I think is so wonderful, that you are making it comfortable for a blue collar guy to
Yes.
go in, and it's not all about the big hitters and the big money, and you
This
know,
is
with
good.
the noses up here, that a guy can, that's a carpenter or whatever, can go there and be
Love
comfortable and be a part of it, you know, and be
And
a
And
tell you,
feel like
part
a
of it.
celebrity
A
that
lot, a
night.
lot of single girls go with all their friends because they can't afford it.
Yes.
And they just go, it's not only just couples, it really becomes a crazy, crazy party.
Right.
And if you don't come, you won't know what it is.
Take the next day off.
Well,
Okay.
again, I gotta
I
say-
want to thank you. I want to thank you very much for tuning into the Long Island View. This has been part 2, and this is going to be a great event, so don't miss it. Get
Tommy,
online.
what are you gonna wear?
Get online.
I'm trying. What are you gonna wear, my
You
friend?
know, I'm
He's
not
got
going to
it.
answer
It's
it.
funny.
All right, Tommy,
That's-
Tommy, tell me what
Get
you're gonna wear.
online. Do what
It's
you
gonna be
have to
slick.
do.
It's gonna be
And
slick.
gonna
be
be
part
slick.
of this
Gonna be
party
rock and
here.
roll.
I will talk to you next week. Thanks for joining into the Long Island View. Have a wonderful week. Good night.
It's also gonna be June, so we're gonna have to keep in mind it's gonna be warm out.
That's one of the biggest questions everybody asks.
Yes.
Women ask either each other or.
What are you
Right.
wearing?
What are you gonna wear?
Right.
Got it,
I
Janine.
have to buy a new suit everywhere.
Janine, drop it
to make
out.
Me
Bye, Sue.
get a